This city has been destroyed, rebuilt, and reinvented more times than many. Welcome to Budapest.
Budapest is actually two cities, Buda and Pest, divided by the Danube and connected by some of the most iconic bridges in Europe. Join me as we explore grand architecture, the historical market, the ruined bars, and the history of this remarkable city. To begin this journey, I flew direct from Dublin, Ireland to Budapest. My flight departed at 8:30 a.m. and in just 2.5 hours, I landed in a very cold Budapest.
I just landed in Budapest airport. I'm gonna go find the shuttle bus to bring me into the center of the city. I'm gonna meet my brother, drop off my bags, my Airbnb, and then I'm gonna go explore the city. Let's go.
This might be the easiest airport I've ever navigated. Just after immigration, you're outside in a few minutes. The blue airport shuttle bus is on your left as soon as you walk outside. I was a bit nervous traveling solo, but it ended up being really easy and straightforward. I didn't even have to wait. There was a bus right there as I walked out. The 100E shuttle bus departs every few minutes into the city. It's super easy. I just tapped my Visa on the machine as I entered through the front door, and that was it. Within 35 minutes, I was at my stop. It was just a 5-minute walk from Central Market, the Danube, and my Airbnb. You can see almost all of Budapest by public transport. The trolley buses, the trams, the buses, and metro, including the M1, the oldest underground railway on continental Europe. You can keep going for 3 more stops, and it'll bring you to the top of the castle district of Buda Castle. But I've decided to get off here because I'm going to go up the funicular. All right, we're going to head up. We're going up to Buda Castle, and we're going to take the funicular. It's 13 euros per adult for round trips. Let's see how it goes. Launched in March 1870, the Budapest funicular is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This 90-second journey runs every 10 minutes. Yeah, I think if you just don't look down, it's a lot steeper when you look down. We're really high up. It's already 3 p.m., so we won't get to see much of the city today, just a quick wander around. But tomorrow, I'm really going to dive in and explore the history of Budapest. Budapest started a renovation program where they're actually building new buildings to renovate the entire city that look old but are actually new. Okay, we're going to take the funicular back down and we're going to get something to eat in a Hungarian restaurant. And you know, it's very steep, but it actually wasn't really scary at all. Karácsony is a traditional Hungarian restaurant. The atmosphere was perfect, the service was excellent, and the food was super tasty. Make sure to try the strawberry lemonade.
Welcome to the Ruins Bars in Budapest. Cheers!
The ruin bars weren't a concept. They were actually a solution to neglect. After World War II and decades of decay, Budapest Jewish Quarter was full of half-abandoned buildings waiting for demolition or redevelopment that never came. Young locals started opening informal bars in these crumbling courtyards. Furniture was scavenged, walls weren't fixed, plants grew where they wanted. The decay was part of the point. These places were temporary by design. Everyone assumed the buildings would eventually disappear, but then tourists found them.
Good morning from Budapest. Today is my only full day here, so I'm going to try to hit St. Stephen's Basilica. I want to go to the Parliament side, so I have to book that online. First though, I want to head and get some breakfast in the Center Market, which is actually right across the street from my Airbnb, which is really handy. We'll try to find some coffee and we'll just enjoy the market. All right, that was my Airbnb, and the Center Market is literally right across the street.
I always try to visit a local market when I'm in a new country. It's one of the best ways to understand the culture, the food people actually eat, and what daily life looks like. Central Market is the largest indoor market in Hungary. It was built in 1896 for the Millennium celebrations. 5 major markets were constructed to make sure the growing population at the time had reliable access to food and goods. Like much of Budapest, the market was badly damaged during World War II. It was rebuilt afterward and then fully restored again in 1991. Today, there are around 180 stalls spread across 3 floors, covering about 10,000 square meters. It's open 6 days a week and closing hours do vary.
I just love a central market in a different country. I think it's really cool. Just wandering around and watching, everyday life going on. You have like the old ladies going and getting their fruits and vegetables every day, and all really good, local quality fresh food and meats, and they're supporting local businesses, and I love that. And I just love like the hustle and bustle. I would happily sit at a little coffee table and just watch life go by here. Haven't had any really luck finding coffee or pastries, so I'm going to head to the second floor because I think they have a cafe up here. But downstairs, it's mainly meats, paprika, which is one of the national things. They have 8 kinds of paprika right here from Hungary. So every other stall is paprika, every other stall is souvenirs, and then a lot of traditional meats and sausages and everything like that. So let's go to the top floor. Hopefully there's some coffee upstairs. Let's try to find a cafe. Okay, so upstairs they have more like bags and different things like this, like 36,000. They are beautifully made. They're all made in Italy. This place is insane. This place is absolutely huge. It just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going. It's literally, I would say you could probably spend like a day or 2 in here, probably 2 days if you wanted to look at every single little booth. But upstairs, it's a lot of crafts, and I would recommend definitely going around and checking prices, because I did find like differences where things were like half the price in one stall than other stalls. I found really cute pencils for my kids, but they're like $7.50, and then I found them for $3.50. So definitely have a look around before you start buying.
I decided not to eat here as it seemed very overpriced and a bit of a tourist trap in that aspect.
We're going to make our way over to Liberty Bridge and then over to Castle District.
In 1896, Hungary celebrated 1,000 years since its founding moment. The Millennium celebration triggered a massive national building boom. Numerous important structures were built during this period, and the original Liberty Bridge was one of them. Unfortunately, at the end of World War II, it was destroyed during the siege of Budapest.
This is the iconic Liberty Bridge. It's one of the most recognizable bridges in Budapest, and it was also the first bridge to be built after World War II in 1946. The color of the bridge, it's green, and combined with the other buildings in the background, the white and the red, it represents the Hungarian flag. There's this app called the Buda Go app, and it actually shows you anywhere you want to go.
Put in your destination, press plan it. The first option is usually best, and it will even show you the name of each stop.
So 2B is down here. And let's go buy a ticket. I have to buy a ticket at the ticket station over here.
Tickets are easy to buy at the machines or the Buda Go app. Single-use paper tickets are the only tickets you need to validate at the yellow machines at metro entrances or on board buses and trams on the red manual machines. For the tickets you purchase in app, you must scan them each time you board a vehicle. I ended up buying a 24-hour ticket, which I kept in the back of my clear phone cover, and I just had to show the conductor every time I entered transportation.
This is the Chain Bridge, which was the original bridge that actually connected Buda, the hillside, to Pest. It was built in the 1840s, but it was bombed during World War II, so it was destroyed. It was the second bridge to be rebuilt after the Liberty Bridge. It was rebuilt in 1949, but it was the original bridge that actually linked the two cities together over the Danube. And just a few meters down on the other opposite side, there are the Shoes of the Danube, which we're going to go visit next.
The memorial marks the site where Jewish men, women, and children were shot into the Danube River near the end of World War II. Our cross party marched thousands of Jews from the ghetto to the riverbank. Before being shot, they were ordered to remove their shoes. Shoes were valuable and scarce during wartime, and the militiamen intended to resell or reuse them. Men, women, and children were all targeted. Many were tied together so that when one person was shot, the other would fall into the water as well. It was estimated that around 20,000 people were killed along the Danube during this 2-month period. Today, visitors often leave flowers, light candles, or place small stones inside or on top of the shoes. Placing stones is a Jewish tradition that represents respect, remembrance, and an ongoing care for the deceased.
You see beyond the Chain Bridge, that's Buda Castle on the top there. And then if we pan and we go all the way over here, we have a lot of reconstruction because they're reconstructing. They have a project to rebuild new buildings to look like the old buildings. And then you have the Fisherman's Bastions up on the top here. So this is the hillside of Buda, and it's all the castle district, and it's really beautiful. So we're gonna go head over there next. Welcome to the Fisherman's Bastion. It may look medieval, but it was actually built in the 1800s, and it has some of the best views overlooking Parliament Building, and especially at night.
Hungarian ancestors of the Magyars settled here in 896. The 7 towers represent one of the 7 Magyar tribal leaders. Even though Fisherman's Bastion looks like something from a fairy tale or a knight-era castle, it isn't actually medieval. It was also built during the Millennium Celebration. It wasn't meant to repel attackers, but it was built as a public terrace and a viewpoint where people could actually enjoy views over the Danube and Pest. World War II seriously damaged parts of the structure during the siege of Budapest, and much of the restoration was carried out afterwards. During the Soviet era, for decades, a huge red star was hung over the bastion, a stark reminder of communist rule. Through the communist era, Budapest was heavily industrial. Coal was widely used for heating, factories burnt low-quality fuel. All of that released soot and sulfur dioxide into the air, causing dark gray staining and black crust layers on all the buildings. After the Soviet collapse and the collapse of the communist industry, Hungary invested heavily in cleaning facades, replacing damaged stone, removing black crust buildup, and improving air quality laws. Matthias Church became one of medieval Hungary's most important churches, hosting royal marriages, funerals, and coronations for centuries. After the Ottoman Turks captured Buda in 1541, the church was converted into a mosque and remained so for over 150 years, a rare example in Europe of a major Christian church serving as a Muslim place of worship. Today, it's still an active Roman Catholic church.
All right, let's go see what it looks like at night. There's actually a walkway from the Fisherman's Bastion over to the Buda Castle area. If you're looking at the skyline, it actually looks like it's really far from the funicular over to the Fisherman's Bastion, but it really isn't. It's only a little walkway, and it's actually kind of peaceful and quiet. This is such a beautiful walkway, and there's nobody back here. I would highly recommend this. It's so peaceful and beautiful. We've got such beautiful views. This is the end of the walk. You can actually walk up to Buda Castle. You don't have to take a funicular. A funicular is 13 euros, so it was very cool to take, but like do it once. But I do think 13 euros is a bit much. But this is the walkway up. It's a beautiful walkway, which brings you here.
It's been destroyed, bombed, rebuilt, and reused so many times that it's more about the city's history than royalty.
Buda Castle began as a medieval fortress back in the 13th century.
Built to defend against invasions rather than to impress.
Over the centuries, it's actually passed through Hungarian hands, Ottoman hands, and Hamburg's hands.
Where it was heavily damaged, partially abandoned, rebuilt into a grand palace, but it never truly became a beloved royal residence. By World War II, the castle was again destroyed during the siege of Budapest, leaving it in ruins. When the communist government rebuilt it after World War II, they stripped away much of the royal ornamentation. Crossing this bridge is the easiest way to feel the city split. Pest is the flat side. Buda is hills, castles, towers, and views. Before the chain bridge opened in 1849, the two cities were connected only by temporary pontoon bridges or ferries. During the winter, crossing the Danube could become impossible, isolating the two cities.
I love how accessible the city is. It's so easy on the Buda Go app. Like, I really suggest the Buda Go app. It literally tells you exactly how to get anywhere. The people, I've never met such polite people in my life. Everyone waits for you to take a photograph. They hold the door. The locals are just really, really, really friendly. My brother's back in the Airbnb relaxing, and I'm going to explore by myself, and I've never actually felt so safe. I feel completely comfortable walking around. So it's a lovely city, even in the winter, even though it's cold, but it's still lovely. I'm on the search for the famous flood lines that are marked on the walls of Budapest. Not many people know about them, but back in 1838, there was a massive flood that just actually completely destroyed Pest. So there's markings all over the city that there's some markings even on second story buildings up near windows, which show how high the water got. And even to this day, locals, they'll say, oh, it's gotten up to 13. They'd be referring to, the flood of 2013. It's something that not many people know of, but let's go searching because I'd love to actually see it.
This says flood March 15th, 1838, and on this marking, Vesalis translates to water level on March 15th, 1838.
I'm gonna head into St. Stephen's Basilica right now. I didn't book a tour, I should have, but you're supposed to book tours online in order to go to the top. I would have liked to have seen the view, but I did check and there's nothing left because it's a bit late, it's 4:15. But they close at 5:45. I'm gonna try to get to Parliament after, before I end my trip. Look at this. Yowzas. Alright guys, this is St. Stephen's Basilica. It's actually one of the most important buildings in Hungary, and they still use it today for church.
St. Stephen's Basilica is the largest church in Budapest and is named after Hungary's first king, who converted the nation to Christianity over 1,000 years ago. Inside, his preserved right hand, considered a holy relic, is still kept. The building is also 96 meters tall, reinforced in the year 896 AD when the Magyar ancestors first settled here. The dome matches the Parliament's height, 96 meters, symbolizing balance between church and state, a rare example of architecture being used to express political philosophy.
Look how beautiful this place is. Parliament building, right on the Danube. They made it big and powerful on purpose, and it is absolutely amazing. It's so much more beautiful at night, like seriously. Let's go take a wander.
The Hungarian Parliament building was another building commissioned as part of the Millennium Celebration in 1896. At the time, Hungary was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and although Hungary shared power with Austria, many Hungarians felt their identity and their independence were being overshadowed. So, they built one of the largest parliament buildings in the world. It wasn't just designed as a workplace for government, it was a declaration of national pride. In many ways, it was Hungary saying, we are a serious European power. Its location along the Danube was intentional. Anyone arriving by boat could see the Parliament first, reinforcing Hungary's political importance. Designed to rival London's Westminster, it copies elements of its Gothic style to symbolize democracy, but its size deliberately exceeds it.
I literally don't even know what to say. I just want to keep recording and keep walking around. I've never been so awe-inspired by a building. It's amazing. It's spectacular. It's like the way the lights reflect off the building at night. Like, come on. Look at that building. It has to be the most beautiful building I've honestly ever seen in my life. From that corner here, this corner here, okay, just to the dome there, that's just to the dome. That's only the right side. That's literally only a quarter of it. Then there's the entire front, and then there's the same thing on the left side. I'm literally speechless. It's beautiful. I'm going to go around to the front and see if you can actually see it from the river. I'm not actually sure if you can or not. So I'm going to walk around to the front. I don't actually know if you can get around to the front, but we're going to try. It's starting to flurry a little bit. It'd be kind of cool if it started snowing. Hold on. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, you can't actually go around the front. It's literally right on the Danube. There's a road on the other side, so you can't walk around to the front and see the front, but it doesn't matter. I think it was a perfect ending to my day. I think it was my perfect ending to my Budapest trip, and 24 hours I definitely do not think is enough. I've been going all day and I haven't actually got to see everything. For now, I'm gonna go get some dinner, enjoy the rest of the night, and try to find some Hungarian desserts like I've wanted to all day.
That ends our time in Budapest. Next, we're driving into Slovenia, a city that feels calm, walkable, and considered Europe's greenest capital. Join us in the next video as we explore Ljubljana, Slovenia.